Okay, so the first thing we're going to do in this video is we're going to go into Constant Contact and set up everything in there. We're going to create our email list and our welcome email sequence. Now to do that, all we need to do is head over to constantcontact.com. All the links for anything I mentioned in this video are in the description below. Once you go to Constant Contact, sign up for a free account and then log into your account like I have, and you can see on my dashboard right here. From here, what we're going to do is create our email list first. So all we need to do is come over to audience here, open it up if it isn't already open, and then click on lists and segments. Then you'll see a blue create new button over here on the right. Just click on that. That's going to give us two options, segment or list. We want to create a list, so I'm just going to click on that and then click on continue. And then the next thing to do is to give your list a name. And as this is for a welcome email sequence, I'm just going to call this list welcome and then click save. And that's it. It's as easy as that. You created your first email list. Now we do have a couple of options here where we can add contacts to this list. So we can select existing contacts if we already have them on Constant Contact. We can upload new contacts if we want to, or we can create a sign up form. But basically what we want to do is keep this email list fresh. We don't actually want to add any contacts to it because we want those contacts to come through the form that we set up on our website. I am going to add another list to my account right now as well. So I'm just going to click on lists and segments again, and then click on create new, then on list again, and then continue. And I'm going to call this newsletter. And the idea of creating this separate list as well is that we can move people from our welcome sequence list to our newsletter list once the welcome email has been sent and received by them. And I'll show you how to do that a little later in this video. Click save to save that. And now we can see we have created that list. And this list you can actually upload new contacts to if you want to. So if you've already got an email list somewhere else, you can transfer it here as well. Okay, so now we've got our email list set up. The next thing to do is to build our automation. And to do that, all we need to do is come over to automations here and click on that, and then click on setup now. So our first option here in the automation is to select our trigger. And we can see that we've got trigger details here. Select trigger. If we click on the drop down, we then have a whole load of options that we can use as the trigger for this automation. And as this is for people getting added to our welcome list, we're going to keep it as subscribers to a list. So we're just going to click on that. So we've got the trigger of subscribers to a list, and then we get to select our lists here. So we can select any list or one or more specific lists. I'm going to click on that to choose that, and then click on the drop down and select welcome. Then click done, and then click save. So now we've set up our trigger right here. And the way that automations work is they flow from one step to another. So we've got our trigger and then something happens. And we can see over here on the left hand side, we've got rules where we can have time delays or conditional splits. We can also have send actions, which is what we can see here already in the flow, and then contact actions as well. So someone's added to this list and then we send them an email. That's exactly what we want to happen. What we're going to do is we're going to edit this now to be our welcome email. So we just click on the three dots here and then click on edit. And now we get to choose whether we're going to create a new email or copy an existing email. This is a new account, so we're going to create a new email, and I'm just going to call this welcome and then click continue. Okay, and now the great thing about Constant Contact is you get access to a template library. So you don't have to build your emails from scratch if you don't want to. And what we're going to do in this video, we're going to use this template right here, welcome new subscriber template, to customize. So I'm just going to click on select. Okay, so now you can see the email editor in Constant Contact. And if you've used a block editor in WordPress or WPForms or anything like that, you'll be familiar with this setup. So we've got the blocks over here on the left hand side, and then we've got a preview of our email on the right here, and I can scroll down and we can have a look at it. And if we hover over anything, we can change everything on the email as well. So it's fully customizable. And what we're going to do is we're going to change this image here. We're going to change the logo, and we're going to change the text really quickly. So I'm just going to click on this logo here, And as you can see, I've clicked on it and it's opened up the settings on the left hand side. I'm just going to click in the image settings right here to set this image. And what we can do here is we can upload images to this library. So I'm just going to click on the upload button right here, and then we can drag and drop images here into this section. So I've just dragged in a little logo right there, and I'm just going to click on upload files to upload that, and then click done. And now I can select that in constant contact. So I'm just going to select that and then click on insert. And we can see that is inserted there, and we can resize this if we want as well. So we'll do that. And now I'm just going to get rid of this block here because I'm going to add another image block instead. So I'm going to click on it and delete, and then clean up the other blocks around it as well. So now we've just got our logo and our text. I'm just going to drag in an image block right here and put that in there. Then I'm going to click on this space to insert another image. Click on upload, and then drag and drop another image in here. Okay, so I've got this image here. I'm just going to click on upload, and now I've uploaded that. I'm going to click on done and then select it to insert it into that area. And we can make that much bigger if we want to, so it can fill out the screen. So now I've got the start of my email is looking pretty good. Now we can change this text, and I have got a document linked in the description below where you can find a template for this welcome email. So you don't have to do it from scratch. I've already written something that you can just customize to your business needs. So let's just now change this text. So I'm going to click on the heading and change that, and then the body as well. Okay, so I've pasted in the email template, as you can see right here. And what I can do is we can remove this first block of text which says hey first name, and then go insert and click on greeting tag. And what we can do is we can personalize this to the person that we're sending it to. So I'm going to click on personal greeting and just change this to hey. I'm going to keep their first name here, but we can select first and last name. And then the default greeting, I'm just going to keep as greetings there as well. So just click insert for that. And as we can see, that will now put insert hey and whatever the person's first name is. So completely personalize this email to them, which is really, really cool. And then we've got the rest of the email right here as well, which says, welcome aboard. I'm glad you're here. As promised, here's your exclusive 20% discount code to use on your first order. We're using a discount code for a store in this example, and this could be anything. It doesn't need to be a discount code. It could be a link to a downloadable file, like a checklist or something you've created that you're offering on your website for people to sign up to. It's just anything that's going to entice someone to drop their email address into that form and submit it, basically. Okay, so that's our email body done. I'm going to come down here. I'm just going to remove this block here with the code on there and remove that spacer as well. And I'll change this button to shop now. And change the color to something green as well. Maybe a bit darker than that. And then we can add a link to that button if we want to, for a web page, email, document, landing page, or anything else. So we're going to go to a web page, and then we'd basically drop in the URL to your shop right there and insert that. I'm going to cancel it because I'm using a demo website in this example. Right, so we've done that. Okay, so now we've edited our email. We're just going to come up here and edit the subject and heading as well. So we're going to change these details now. Okay, so I've changed the subject to you're in, enjoy 20% off your first order, and the pre-header here, don't miss out. You can be able to see an example of what that looks like in someone's email inbox right there. Then once you've done that, just click save. And now we've got our welcome email written out. We've done the subject and header as well. So all we're going to do now is click save and close. And that's now brought us back to our automation sequence. So we've got our trigger, we've got our welcome email. And then after that welcome email has been sent, what we want to do is add this person to a new list. And that's our newsletter list that we set up earlier in this video. So what we're going to do is drag in, add or remove from a list to the blue little plus there, drop that in, and we can see that's now been added into our sequence. Click the three dots, click on edit, and then we've got the option to add or remove. So we're going to add, we're going to leave it on add, and then we're going to click the drop down, and then we're going to choose newsletter and click save. So now your welcome email sequence is fully set up. We've got a trigger so that when someone is added to this list, they get the welcome email. And then after they receive that welcome email, they're added to the newsletter list. And then from there, you'll be able to create more emails or more campaigns where you can email those people on a regular basis. That keeps our welcome email list and our newsletter email list separate, which is super important. Okay, and then the next thing to do is just to click activate on this automation to activate it, and it'll be live and ready to use. Okay, so now we're done with Constant Contact. We've created our email list and we created our welcome email sequence. So the next thing to do is to log into our WordPress dashboard and use WPForms to create a form that's going to collect those emails and add them to our email list. Okay, so now I've logged into my WordPress dashboard, and the next thing to do is to add WPForms to our site. And you'll see I've already got WPForms on my site right here, just to save a little bit of time. But all you need to do is go to plugins here, click on add plugin, then search for WPForms, and you'll be able to see it right here. Install, activate, and you're good to go. So we're going to create a form with WPForms. So we're just going to head over to WPForms right here and open it up. And to create a form, all we need to do is click on the add new button here or create your form button right there. And first thing to do is to give our form a name. So just name something memorable for you. It's not going to be seen by anyone else. So you can just type it in there. And then below that, we get to select a template. And I'm just going to type in newsletter. And you'll see we've got newsletter sign up form, and we've got the Constant Contact newsletter sign up form as well. So we can just click on use template to use that. Okay, so now we're in the WPForms editor, and it's really easy to use. Basically, you've got a live preview of what your form looks like right here. And then we've got our fields over here on the left hand side. And if I hover over the live preview, you'll be able to see what fields are. These are fields right here. So you've got a name field right there, and you've got an email field right there. You can click on them, you can drag them and drop them into place as well. And when you click on them as well, you'll then see on the left hand side the options for that field as well. So you can set them up as you want. You can change things like the label and also the format of the name as well. We don't really need much else on this form for us to be able to collect these details. So we're going to leave these fields as they are. If you do want to add any more fields, you click on the Add Fields tab right here, and then you can drag and drop them into place. If you want any of these fancy fields, then you'd need to upgrade to WPForms Pro for that. So on this form, we've got a name field and we've got an email field as well. What I'm going to do is we're going to go to settings here. And from here, what we can do is we can set up notifications and also the confirmation. So if we click on notification, we'll be able to see that we can now set up an email notification to be sent to the site admin. And it lets us know that there's been a new submission in this form, which is pretty handy to have. And all this can be customized, so you can go through and customize as you want all this information. I'm going to leave it as it is, and I'm going to click on confirmation. So within the confirmation, we can now edit the message that someone sees when they submit the form. So we can see that we can select the confirmation type. If we click drop down, message, so page, go to URL, we're going to leave it as message, and then confirmation message here. Thanks for joining our email list. And I'm going to edit that to thanks for signing up. Okay, so the next thing to do is to click on the marketing tab right here. And this marketing tab allows you to integrate WPForms with lots and lots of different platforms. So we've got Constant Contact and Uncanny Automator that are available in the free version of WPForms, but we've got so many more options with the pro version as well. But as we're using Constant Contact, I'm just going to click on that, and then we're going to connect Constant Contact to WPForms. So all we need to do is click on Add New Account, and then go through the authorization process to connect Constant Contact to WPForms. Okay, so I've been through the authorization process. I'm just going to click on Add New Connection here as well. We can give this connection a nickname if we want. I'm just going to leave it as it is. So I'm just going to click OK. And now we can select an account. So I'm going to click on the drop down and select the account. And then we can select the action to perform. So click that drop down. We can select whether this person is subscribe, unsubscribe, or delete subscriber. We're going to click on subscribe, and then we get even more options. So we just click on the email drop down, and we can select email, and then we get to select our list. So if I click the drop down, we can see we've got welcome, newsletter, my contacts. We're going to click the welcome because we want to add the person that submits this form to the welcome list that we created a little earlier. And then we can link up custom fields as well. So I'm going to click on the custom field, select first name, then the form field, first name. And then we can add more custom fields by clicking this little add button here. And I'm going to select the last name and the last name here as well. So now we've got the first and last name mapped to the form fields as well. So now we've got Constant Contact connected. We haven't got anything else that we need to do with this form. So all I'm going to do is click on save to save everything. Then I'm going to click on the little cross here to exit the form editor. And we can see we've got our welcome offer form right there. Okay, so how do we get this form on our site? Well, if I head to pages here and then head to my home page, which is where I want to add this to, I'm going to click on edit. And now I'm in the block editor. I'm just going to scroll down to the section that I've already created for this, which is right here. So I've already created this section, and it's basically a container with two columns. On the left hand side over here, we can see we've got a heading that says bring a little more green into your life with a 20% off, with 20% off your first order. And then the text below says sign up to receive exclusive discount code straight to your inbox. So basically, they're signing up to get that welcome email we just set up. On the right hand side over here, I've left it blank. And if we click on the add block button right there, I'm just going to type in WPForms into the search bar. And we can see we can click on that block and add it to that column right there. Next thing to do is click on the drop down and select the form that we've just created. And we can see that form's been added right there. And at the moment, it doesn't look very good at the moment. So what we're going to do is going to save this page. And then we're going to go back to our main dashboard. We're going to come down to WPForms. And we click on settings. And then in the general area of the settings, if I scroll down a little bit, you'll be able to see it. You can see the use modern markup is toggled to off. We're just going to toggle it to on and then click save settings again. Now if I head back to that page and click on edit and scroll down to the form, which you can see right here, I'm going to click on that, and you can see in the column over here on the right hand side we've got themes and we've got styles below that. Now that was grayed out when we added this form to the page, but we now can customize it to whatever we want. So we can just go further on down and I'm click on label styles and I want them to stand out. So under label styles right here, we can see that we can change the size, colors, everything can be customized. I'm going to click on label and I'm just going to change it to a white color so that we can see them that stand out. That's fantastic. And then I want to change this button color as well, just to match as the background. So I'm just going to click on background for the button color and we'll change it to this green right here. And then click away, and that's pretty much set up. Well, we'll change the sub label as well to white so that we can see them as well. So that's just edited that and made it look a little bit better. I'm just going to click on save to save that, and let's just preview it. So I'm just going to click on view here and click on preview a new tab so that we can see it. If I scroll on down to that section, we can now see it right there. So now we've got our form on our website and it's connected to Constant Contact so that when someone submits this form, their email address is going to be added to the list that we created in Constant Contact, and then they will receive that welcome email with the offer discount which we've stated on this website. So now that's all set up, what you want to do is test it. So enter your own details into the form, submit it, and then wait and see if you get that email into your inbox. Then you can go back to Constant Contact and check all the analytics for the email list are working correctly and everything's been counted. See, you didn't need a complicated system. Just WPForms and Constant Contact, with a clear message. Make sure you comment below and let me know if you're setting this up today. I'd love to hear how you get on. I'm Ryan, this is WP Beginner, and I'll see you in the next video.